we're still going for it, huh?
Let's go for it. Let's go for
Oh
it.
my
All
God.
right.
Maybe you have to
What's
like
going on, ladies
lower.
and gentlemen? This is Steve from the ABG. I'm with Sterl, the Meister, the New York City road running. What? No, actually, no. New York City
That says New York.
marathon running champion.
It does say no, definitely not champion, but it does say New York Roadrunners.
Oh yeah, that's New York Road, the
You
NYRR.
saw it right.
Yeah, sorry, just making sure. I was like Roadrunner. Yeah,
Yeah.
NYC Roadrunner, New York City Marathon champion
Completest finisher.
finisher. Okay,
Don't call me
final.
champion. 'Cause,
Yes, you are a champion. All right.
yeah.
So that's Sterling, and we are the 8BG. Long time no see. Um,
It's actually
we're
working
hanging
well
out
now.
here, doing our thing, and
All right, let's get into it quick. We got some things we got to run over. Maybe we can do it again in detail, but
this is gonna
let's
this is gonna be a quick cast,
a quick
like
bite.
quick bite. Yeah, quick bite, really quick. All right, Sterling, what's going on? What you been playing?
Oh my God. So I got a MetaQuest 3 S.
Mhm.
So VR. I'm doing VR stuff.
Okay, the
And
future. You're a VR trooper. Okay.
yeah, it's oh my God. VR is the future. I'm gonna go out there and say it right now. It's the future. Um the tech's not there yet. I think it has to get a little bit thinner and a
Hmm.
little bit better with the vision part because you have to hit a sweet spot when using it.
Hmm.
And if you don't have that sweet spot, then it's a little blurry. And I think the MetaQuest 3 has a really good, probably sweet spot. The 3S is a little cheaper, so it's not as good. The resolution isn't as good, uh but I'm convinced. I mean, it's fun. It's like you can't emulate everything in other games, but that
Hmm.
feeling of being there is really cool. Like playing Fruit Ninja, miniature golf. I let my mother play it and
Hmm.
miniature golf, and she instantly understood it. No
Wow.
explaining controllers. I had to explain one thing of how to move the character to the ball. Then she
Hmm.
did it, and she was playing on her own for 30 minutes. That's like longest time my mother's ever sat or stood and played a game because she just instantly got it because she just looked, she saw the world she was in,
Hmm.
and it instantly registered. It's the future. It's there's a lot of
So,
things you can do on it. It's kind of scary a little bit, but
mhm.
it's the
So let me
future.
ask you a question. Have you ever played the PSVR?
No.
Okay, so you wouldn't be able to compare it.
No, but I would imagine it's probably very similar. Like
Mm.
all the VR sets, other than it's like the capability of what they can do is really what it is. Like,
Mhm.
and MetaQuest 3 runs on a pretty good system, apparently. Everybody says it's really good,
Mhm.
and affordable because it's 300 as opposed to like some VR, like the Valve Index or whatever is $1,000 for a lot of VR. It was a huge barrier entry to VR before. And I
Mhm.
think MetaQuest makes it very accessible, but also very quality. So, yeah, I have a Half-Life Alex. I haven't played it yet, but I know that's the
Mhm.
game, the
Okay.
experience. So I can't. I'm gonna definitely play that at some point. But VR is really cool. It's you feeling like you're a Tony Stark. You can move menus with your hand, swipe them back in, touch, do things. You don't even need a controller. I mean, you do, but like you can not. It'll sense your hands and let you touch things, pull menus closer to you. It's cool. Is it
Mhm.
gimmicky? It is a little bit, but it's it'll get there to a point where I think it'll be worth
So
investing in.
you don't think it'll fall on the wayside like the Wii? Like you know how the Wii was like this amazing thing that you can control and then
No,
waggle
I
it, and
think
then
it's
after
because
a
I
lot of
think it's
people
a
kind of got over it.
yeah, I think it's a little bit more. You can do a lot more with it, and I
Hmm.
think the experience of the Wii was cool, but it was, as most people found, it was cool for like bowling, and it wasn't really that cool to play games. This
Hmm.
thing is, I think it can be used to play games. Like I haven't played, like I have Batman. What I heard is really good. The new Batman
Hmm.
Dark Shadow. I have that as well, so I'm gonna try that. The Arkham game,
Hmm.
because it's yeah, I'm gonna try that. I heard that's pretty good. So, and you'd really get that feeling like you're in a world. It's not like the initial Wii was cool, but this one I tried, I said, "Holy shit!" So like I said, the technology needs to get a little bit, like 5 years maybe. It'll
Hmm.
be whatever the MetaQuest 4 or 5. I think will be at a level where a lot of people, and if it gets more affordable, Like it should be around $300. Once it's like that, I think people will why, but I didn't want one. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And then my mother bought it for me, and I'm kind of glad she did. It's something I kind of didn't know I would get a lot of fun. Now, you can't use them all the time because it does mess with your eyes, and it could be
Mhm.
motion sickness. There's that part to figure out.
Mhm.
You know, like you might need a 360 treadmill or something in the future to use one of these things effectively. I don't. Some people created something like that to walk around and experience that, but other than that, I got it for Christmas, so I didn't experiment with it too much, but I played enough of it to know like it's cool. I'm gonna throw it on every once in a while. You know what I mean? I don't think I'm just gonna let it sit there because there's other reasons too. There's a lot of good things about it. I like it. Like I said, you can tell technology's not there yet completely, but very good. Also, real quick, I've been playing Marvel Rivals, but we'll talk about that I think later,
Oh
right?
yes, let's talk about that. Let's make that
Um,
the crux of the
so
conversation.
real quick, I've been playing Final Fantasy 16.
Hmm.
I bought it on sale. It just came to PC. Um, Phenomenal. I I'm I love it. I wasn't one of those people that were like, oh my God, it's an action game. It's gonna be bad. I don't care about it.
Hmm.
I always say like, give it a chance. Let's see what they're trying to do. And Final
Hmm.
Fantasy, you always get at least a quality to it. This game I think it's great. It does at times maybe give you a vibe of Final Fantasy May Cry. It is a little bit, there's certain things, but it has a great story, very good voice acting, um, you know, and it has a lot of Final Fantasy elements in it that if you're a fan, you'll love some of it. But some people are like, oh, it's the combat's not that deep, and it's like, no, it's not as deep as Devil May Cry or Elden Ring or something, but it is still pretty deep, and it's not OD difficult. Like you
Hmm.
can die if you're not careful, but it's to me, I didn't like 15 so much. So this game,
Hmm.
the music phenomenal, the graphics very good. It feels like a complete game, which is something you don't get some of these days. You know what I mean? I think it's great. I can't wait to play more of it. I'm like consistently just play, and I single player games don't get me like they used to.
Hmm.
That's just because I'm playing so many multiplayer games. But this one, I actually like sometimes want to stop playing multiplayer games just to go finish the story. I think it's great. So
Awesome. Well,
you,
for me, in terms of games I've been playing, before we get into Marvel Rivals and the Overwatch discussion, I just been playing like just a plethora of games just randomly, here and there.
hmm
I feel like sometimes I buy more games than I can play,
I'm in the same camp.
and I actually, don't like that.
I
So
have like 500 games on my PC that I want to play
yeah,
like
I see something
half
on
of them.
sale, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna play this,
I'll
and then
buy
I
it just for
never
later.
get to it. Like I have Elden Ring, I probably only
Me
played an
too.
hour of it, and then
Me
because
too.
I just never had time to sit down and
I
just
played up the
enjoy it.
beginning part and then I said, okay, I'm gonna get back to this at some point. Everybody says it's such a great game. I'm gonna
Yeah,
do it. And
and I can't I
I
can't do it.
will,
I
but you
will. Yeah,
will. You
I'll
will
go.
get to it.
Yeah.
Which is Final Fantasy has given me a little hope in that. Like, okay, I'm gonna beat
Mhm.
this. Now let me go on to the next one. You just do it one at a time.
You know what's funny? It's like sometimes a game has to get you at a good moment. Like, you may not have time for it, but if it hooks you at the right time, you're like, you know what? I gotta keep playing, you know?
And I will
So,
say that
mhm.
was the only reason I did play Final Fantasy 16 is because they got a demo, and the demo was very good, and it hooked me, and it ended at a point where I was like, I gotta get the real game. I gotta, and I did. So,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah,
you're right. It does have to hook you. That
yeah, it
game
has
hooked
hooked
me.
me. But the games I've bought and played, a little bit. I got Super Mario Wonder. That was pretty
Hmm
fun, from what I played so far. Played a couple of stages. Um, I bought Stray, didn't play that yet, but I'm going to.
hmm I'm playing
What
Tears
else?
of the
What
Kingdom
else?
too, but
Hmm?
I've been playing Tears of the Kingdom actually as well.
I gotta play that. I
Zelda.
actually I have to finish Breath of the Wild. That's one of the things I
Oh,
finished. Yeah, I know.
yeah.
Trust
Well,
me.
I just finished it like last year anyway, so I can't talk now.
And yeah, I had it for a minute. I think the only game I've been playing a lot lately was I bought a couple of collections for the Switch because now
Hmm
that Switch is kind of
On its way out.
sunsetting. I'm trying to get a couple of Switch games because I have a feeling that a lot of Switch games are going to probably be rare for some reason.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's maybe, but I had that feeling. A
The
lot of the
new one
compilation
being
games.
backwards compatible to me almost makes it like maybe it won't be as rare as you think.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But I
Um,
see what you're saying. Like
yeah, so I've been picking up a lot of compilations because I'm like, I used to have Mega Man Zero on the Game Boy Advance. I don't even know what happened to it. It just kind of disappeared. But I saw the Mega Man
collection.
X.
I got it on PC. Yeah. The
Yeah,
ZX collection.
discussion. That's been pretty fun. I was playing that. Very
The Z
nostalgic for
Zero
me.
Two is low key the best one, by the way.
I
So
haven't got the Zero Two yet.
oh, Zero Two is phenomenal. I
Playing
love
from
it.
the beginning. I also got the Castlevania Game
Dominus
Boy
collection.
Advanced Collection.
Oh, it's not the Dominus one.
Not the Dominus one. So I
I want
got
to
the
get that.
collection, even though
I have the advanced collection, but
physically have Circle of the Moon and Harmony of Dissonance. This is
Dissonance.
Dissonance. Thank you, Dissonance.
You
I
don't have
have them
Area
physically.
Sorrow,
I don't have our Area of Sorrow.
the best one.
Yeah, so I'm like, you know what? Let me just pick it up and have it here. So because
Even
I'm
if I
not
had all
going.
three, I would get it anyway.
Hmm?
If I had all three, I'd still get it anyway.
Yeah, it's convenient.
They add and there's extra stuff in it too, and I think those are
They have a
three.
rewind feature, which I'm not. I mean, it does help, but I just feel like I wish I could disable it because sometimes I want to get that old school challenge.
Isn't there
But
another game in there too?
oh
Isn't there
yes, it
four?
has Dracula X, the Super Nintendo version.
Right, yeah. So I mean, like it's there's more than just the three games.
Hmm.
I think if you really like those games, I think it's worthy to get it.
Yeah, well, it's definitely worth it. I
It's like
definitely
20
recommend it.
bucks or something. It was
And you
cheap.
know what's great about playing Circle of the Moon? I finally see everything
Oh, cause
because
yeah,
I had it. That was Circle of the Moon was the first game I got for the Game Boy Advance, and I had the original Game Boy Advance. The white one, Glacier.
it's not backlit.
Not backlit. And man, it feels good to see the graphics. Even though now when you see it graphics, you realize how choppy it is. Like his walk animation and everything. I feel like there was like maybe a slight blur with the Game Boy Advance when
Yeah,
when there's a backlit.
yeah, it was.
So it kind of made it look a bit smoother than it is. But now you see like, the stiffer animation. But it's
I
still a great
mean,
game.
even in the next game, his animation wasn't great, but the third game in Area of Sorrow, they made one of the best. That is one of the best 2D Castlevanias. Like it's probably right under Symphony of the Night. It's that good.
Yeah, I played it. I don't know if I borrowed it from you.
Aria of Sorrow. It doesn't
Aria
come
Sorrow.
close. Like none of the games they made after, like some of them are good, but none of them are. Aria of Sorrow is the closest they'll get to Symphony of the Night. I think
I
it's
have to play it
phenomenal.
again. I think I borrowed it from you one time. I
Oh,
remember I played the game for a good minute, but I
the
don't remember.
intro stage music. Oh, it's so good. Oh my God, I'm just thinking about it right now.
And I want to get the Dominus collection next. I want to
Me
definitely get
too.
that.
I didn't buy that yet, but I'll get it one day. It goes on
Yeah, I feel like
sale.
that's gonna be, one of those things that's probably just gonna be here and gone. Because I have I do what do I have? I think I have everything but the Portrait of Ruin. So I was like, should I just get Portrait of Ruin
That's
instead
a
of
good
that?
one.
Yeah. So I'll see, but definitely I'm just trying to get a lot of collections. So I've just been playing that. Also too, what I played? I played that Power Rangers beat 'em up game.
I know you would.
Yeah. And
You know what? It looks good, but you know what? It also to me reminds. It's like it looks too close to like the Ninja Turtles one, where it's almost like it's just not as the same game. I didn't play that one,
mm,
but it just feels like I get it. It looks cute, the animations, but it's like we just got it. I like it's like they saw Turtles and like this is the
yeah.
blueprint for a successful beat 'em up of an older kind of game that people.
I mean, TMNT set a trend. I mean, really, Streets of Rage did, but TMNT with the style, it definitely set a trend. Like, 'cause you have a GI Joe beat 'em up game, you have a Karate Kid beat 'em up game in the same vein, and now you have a Power Rangers game in the same vein.
Yeah,
And the Power Rangers game is not that good,
you don't think it's
unfortunately.
good?
Nah, I think it might
I
be
heard it got
fun.
good reviews. I heard it had issues, but I heard they patched them and it's like fine.
So in the beginning, before they patched it with the issues, like the game was really clunky. Like the walk animation was slow. It just felt very clunky. There's no other way to describe it.
Hmm.
Then they updated it and they added like faster walk speed and combat animation and everything else. But the game is just too short. It's a very short game, only a couple of stages.
Hmm.
Just talking about beat 'em up stages. And then you have after you do the beat 'em up stages, you have like these Zord stages that are kind of like what's that the super FX chip? What's that super chip? Super
Okay.
7 Super
I don't know.
7 mode. That's Super
Mode
Nintendo.
7 with
So
Super
it's like
Nintendo stuff. Yeah.
like a mode 7 like scrolling part where you control the Zords or a motorcycle. But those parts are just way too long and too boring. And I feel like it's one of those things where if you have a group of people playing, and then you guys are all having fun playing, beating up the putties and everything, and then you get to those stages, I can just see everyone just losing interest automatically, and
Hmm.
just not continue playing because it's just, there's a slight learning. It's not hard to learn it, but it's just long and boring, and I think it just kills the flow of everything. And on top of being too short, has a lot of
Hmm.
good stuff going for it. Graphics, the combat system is clunky too. I just feel like, when you fight, it just doesn't feel fluid. You know what I mean? Like it's just very limiting. So I
Okay.
think I definitely didn't. I was just disappointed
So
and
it's not your
surprised. It was like
favorite game. Okay.
$35.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I definitely wouldn't get it. I even bought the turtle one when it went down to like 10 or something. I'm just not
Yeah,
gonna
the turtle,
buy.
the turtle one was worth it. That was a fun game. Even though I beat that game in the same day, I had so much fun playing that game that it was definitely worth it. And I played it multiple times. It's a fun game, But yeah, that's
Played it
why I
for a
really
few
wanted.
stages. Yeah, it's fun.
Hmm?
I played a few stages. It was yeah. It
Yeah,
felt like beat 'em up. It's like I know what like once you do a stage or two, it's like you know what you're getting into. So it's like
yeah,
how much more do you want to do this? So I was like, all right, I kind of know what I got into here. It's cool. I
mhm.
can, if I have some friends maybe.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, that makes it the more the merrier. But let's go along and talk about one of the biggest games of last year.
Do we have enough time?
Let's talk about it really quickly.
All right.
Marvel Rivals, like
Why do you have to say last year? Like I get it came out, but it was like a few. Just shut up. Just go ahead. Whatever.
it technically came out last year. I mean, it's been
Oh my god. All right.
2004's biggest game. But nah, yeah, I played it last year. I didn't even know what it was initially because I didn't realize Marvel was making a hero shooter. And then I just kept on seeing like advertising and people talking about Squirrel Girl, and everything. I'm thinking it
Yeah,
was
they
a card
certainly
game.
are.
Honestly, when I saw the commercials, I thought it was one of those Strike Force card games or whatever.
Yeah, because they
But
got a million of those. Marvel has like 18 free games on
yeah.
phones that are like Strike Force, something else, this,
Mhm.
whatever. Go ahead, though.
So I just assumed that that's what it was. And then I ended up finding out it was a hero shooter. So I'm like, let me download it. It's free. Got nothing to lose, right? That's my favorite price. And you know how I mentioned before in this podcast that I just didn't get Overwatch and Overwatch wasn't my style.
Hmm.
And when I played Marvel Rivals, I finally understood the appeal of hero shooters. And I was like, oh, like ding, there you go.
Now,
That's
why did you say that? Do you think it was because now it's Marvel and you understood the characters, or you just didn't give Overwatch a fair shake?
I would say a mixture of both. I probably didn't give Overwatch a fair share to really learn the combat and the abilities, and what type of game it was. Because initially, when I saw Overwatch, I'm just thinking it's probably like another run and gun shooting game. Because this is the time we have Halo Infinite, or was Halo Infinite out or Overwatch out? I can't remember.
Overwatch was out in 2014, bro.
Oh, so,
So
so Halo Infinite, that's even before Halo
yeah,
Infinite.
yeah,
So
yeah. Overwatch is almost 10 years old now.
yeah. So when it came out, 'cause I remember I rented it from GameFly, and then I was playing a little bit of it. And then I just like, I just didn't really connect with it. And I'm just like, you know what? This is not my type of game. Like I didn't feel it didn't connect with me. And I didn't give it a fair share. And I think because it was from GameFly, I'm like, oh, I'm not connecting with it. Let me send it back. And that's kind of my impression of it. But then when playing this game, even though I had difficulty feeling the same way too, but when I played a couple of rounds, um, I was like, okay, now I see what's going on, and I understand like the how it's supposed to work, and it finally clicked with me. Truth be told, I do think having Marvel characters help with that. A couple of things I'll
Yeah,
say.
yeah.
Um,
I
the
think it.
designs in the game are really well done. Like those are some of the best designs I've seen for the superheroes. Like they're
Not
detailed.
Wolverine, but go ahead.
Hmm?
So not Wolverine's
Oh, he
design,
has to
but
just yeah, he's just that jacket. Yeah, it's okay. I think
no, it's
it's
bad. It's bad. Go
But
ahead. Just
everyone else,
everyone
they
else
look
looks good.
really
He looks
dope.
terrible.
I think it's funny, like it's crazy. Like usually Spider-Man has a lot of great costumes, and this one, I don't even Spider-Man costumes are just like
It's
nothing.
fine.
Like everyone else has like great costumes. Like my favorite main is Magneto. I love his outfit. Like it just looks so good, and I'm just like, wow, it's good. So it's a well-designed game, so which makes it very attractive to people who are interested in checking it out. And I think yeah, it's a basic hero shooter game, but it's just fun. It's just wrapped around um that Marvel magic, I guess. And I think just having those characters really helps out a lot.
Oh, well, I can't talk about this for forever because I could. I only have
Mhm.
10 few minutes, but so I'm an Overwatch fan. Love
Mhm.
Overwatch. If you, to me, Overwatch was setting itself up to be the next biggest thing, and they
Mhm.
fucked it up bad. But like, if you go on YouTube and you watch the Overwatch character stories, they're like
Mhm.
these kind of 5 to 10 minute, almost Pixar level shorts, and they are phenomenal. They're emotional. They're great. They build this world, and they are building towards some kind of really interesting story, and they fuck it up. Now, why I say that is because the game of Overwatch, playing it, is always good. But what made it bigger was these characters that they had, we started to care about this and that. Like it was like, oh, I wanted to see the world and the story they had to tell since Overwatch 1. Then being Blizzard and Activision, they said, we got a gold mine here. We're just going to make it about money. Here comes Overwatch 2. We were going to give you a story mode. Now we're not. Just all about the gameplay and giving you Cowboy Bebop skins and all this other whatever skins you want from this movie and that show and that anime. It became this thing. Now, let's talk about the gameplay. Overwatch hero shooter, right?
Mhm.
Fun hero shooter. Love it. The mechanics, there's a quality to it. So when playing Marvel Rivals, I came from the point of view of I loved Overwatch, and here's a game trying to steal Overwatch's like
Thunder.
thunder,
Mhm.
and boy did it steal it, and it might kill Overwatch. I'm not even lying. It's that
Ooh.
I'm not even saying that it's about how good Marvel Rivals is. It's that Overwatch fucked up what they had so bad that everybody on Overwatch is like, fuck this game. I'm going to play something else. Plus, you need a different change of pace. And
Mhm.
when I first started playing, like I can flat out say the mechanics in Marvel Rivals isn't as well tuned as Overwatch is in terms of just the way the shooting feels and all that. However, it is good enough that they came out swinging with way more characters than they should have in the
33
beginning. Yeah,
characters.
right.
Wow.
Which is like a lot for a launch game. They have a
Mhm.
lot of characters. Each character is very well realized, even though they're just for the Overwatch player. There's just combinations of different Overwatch characters, or
Mhm.
very like Squirrel Girl plays exactly like Junkrat, and
Mhm.
Hawkeye plays exactly like Hanzo, and Black Widow plays exactly like Widowmaker. So like there's well, not exactly. There's differences. They added some things and more Marvel things, like in Heroes, Iron Man can just fly, which
Mhm.
Overwatch, a character has like a cooldown before flying. They can't
Mhm.
just fly all over the place. But it makes sense because it's Iron
Mhm.
Man. He should be able
Yeah.
to fly. And
Mhm.
so the game, as a lot of people say, right now it's like broken in terms of character balance. And while it's kind of weirdly balanced, like some characters are very much stronger, like Hawkeye and Hela are like right now top tier. They realize like the game's a little bit more deeper than people realize because some characters that people thought were bad, oh,
Mhm.
just wait till someone good figures them out, and now all of a
Mhm.
sudden, Wolverine, who people thought was shit, like there's a
Mhm.
really good one. Now I don't think he's great, but with the right skill and dedication, you can be good at it. Like you
Mhm.
said, the presentation is actually really good.
Yeah.
Uh, even like the music before some of the stages and stuff, the intros to stages, they did a lot of they to me they looked at everything to me that made Overwatch good and did just paid a little bit more attention to some of that detail and in their presentation. Um, and the scary thing is why I say why Overwatch is in trouble is they have the Marvel license. They don't have
Yeah.
to think of new characters. They just can pull characters out their ass.
Yeah. If they
They
want to do a
have
combination, they can look
yeah,
for someone who's similar enough to
yeah.
be like,
Overwatch has to take like 6 months to think of a character, its backstory, develop them. They say, "Oh, I guess we got to throw in Deadpool. We got to throw in Ultron. We got to throw who else is not in the game that was in movies. We got to throw in this person. We got to throw who's not in the.
let's pick Quicksilver. We need another
We
Tracer
need
character.
we need a speedster. We're gonna quick yeah. We got the whole X-Men, so Cyclops can come on.
We,
We'll
we
have
need another
Colossus.
Hulk.
He can be a tank.
Let's get Colossus or
Yeah.
Juggernaut.
We, you know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
Overwatch is in trouble. and it
Yeah.
shows like the engagement. A lot of people blowing up with watching like the Steam engagement of how many people are playing one game and viewing. Overwatch is like I'm not. It's dying.
Yeah.
Um, but deservedly so. They could have if
So
they.
what? Let me ask you a question. What
Mhm.
did they do to mess everything up? What, like, I know there was a big
So
debacle between Overwatch 1 and Overwatch 2.
right. So Overwatch 2, when it came out, was literally not. It was like Overwatch 1.5. Overwatch 2 was promised to be a, a PVE shooter, like with a
Mhm.
story, like a big story, character trees, and all this kind of. Which to me, even when they announced, I said that's probably really hard to do because there's a lot of
Mhm.
characters, and to make like a huge like mode where each character can be used and leveled up. I said that sounds like a lot of work.
Mhm.
So then they kind of were mentioning they were scaling back on it a little bit, or they delayed it. Then they canceled it. So they canceled the story mode completely. Like they just got rid of it. And so that disappointed. So now you just have the same game. You have Overwatch that was a shooter game. Now it's just Overwatch 2. They changed the balance of it. They took away a tank and they made it really balanced and kind of whatever. And they completely the story is done. No one can, So I don't know. You look like you're falling asleep, man.
I do.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm actually watching you, but
I
I
know
know
you,
my eyes.
yeah, but it's like your eyes are like this.
Yeah, yeah. I'm
So
looking at you talking. I mean, I'm hearing
I'm
you.
sorry I'm not that attractive, put you to sleep.
Yeah. No, I'm actually paying attention. I see my eyes too, like going like closing, but I'm like
I definitely would need more time because I've
Mhm.
played a lot of Overwatch and I've been playing a good amount of Marvel. Like I'm even like I was bitter about Marvel when it came out in terms of like it's what is this copycat game?
Mhm.
Even there was one of the producers of Overwatch, like one of the former, he
Oh yeah, I
like put
heard
out a
about that.
tweet saying like it's just, and he's not wrong. I mean the game modes is everything in it is very much
Hmm.
Overwatch. Each game mode is strictly an Overwatch. Now I'm not saying Overwatch maybe it's the first game to do it, but it's like
But popularized it.
they took it and they said, okay, we're gonna make it's like literally it feels like there's no kind of game mode in it that's like, oh, this is not an Overwatch. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like this, so it's like, oh man,
No,
there.
no, I
But
think the only game mode that they have that's not like
oh,
Overwatch
it's the
is
one I
like
didn't play.
the
Whatever that
combat
other.
mode.
Yeah, I didn't try that. So.
Yeah, so that's the only one. 'Cause that's when I try to it's pretty fun. You
Mhm.
still have objectives, but I think you're just like shooting them or whatever. But
Yeah, I don't know anybody that's tried that, but yeah, no, but now I'm coming around to it. Like this, it's here to stay,
yeah,
and in some
that's for
ways, I'm
sure.
like that's good because maybe Overwatch will get their act together
Hmm.
and start maybe releasing content either a little bit more engaging or figure out a way to get people back because they know it's flopping, and this is one of their franchises that should have been the best. They had it all laid out, but
Hmm.
money came, and I mean, and it's like it's not to say Marvel Rivals isn't about money because their skins cost $16 to $20
Yeah.
anyway. But when you get
It's
people in
optional
for
though. You
free,
don't
they're
have to.
gonna
You don't have
buy
to
them
do it.
shits.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you don't
they're
have
gonna
to
buy.
buy
I
it.
already bought the season pass, and if I see a skin for a character I want, I'm gonna buy it. Cause fuck it.
Yeah.
So
Yes, man.
there's a lot to talk about. I know I don't have more than I don't have enough time,
Hmm.
but just know it's here, and
It's here.
they hero shooters fail a lot.
Yeah, of
Concord,
course.
and you heard
Concord,
of
you heard
that.
about that? Yeah, biggest failure or so. Like I think they
Yeah.
lost millions on
There's so
Concord.
there's so many, so the fact that this one, and I heard a good point where some people say, oh, it's the Marvel license that did it, and it's not
Yeah,
necessarily.
yeah.
This,
I mean, why not?
it helps,
That helps. Yeah.
but it's not. There's a lot of Marvel games that came out that didn't catch on fire just because it was Marvel.
Yeah. Marvel
Like
Rise of the Imperfects.
oh, okay, that was so long ago. But like, I heard Guardians of the Galaxy was supposed to be a really good game,
Hmm.
and it didn't do well.
Didn't do
Unlike
enough.
the Spider-Man games, obviously do, but
Mhm.
the Avengers game didn't do well. Now I don't know whether that was a good game or not for the PS4 or whatever that Avengers one.
Yeah, it was
Um,
like the online only game. Yeah.
there was another good game called Midnight Suns that people said Marvel
Yeah, that's
Midnight
more of a
Suns.
tactical game.
Right. So just throwing Marvel in it doesn't instantly mean people are gonna jump on it.
But
Um,
you know what I think this means? Because I'm looking at these characters, I'm seeing all these designs. I feel like we're finally breaking away where people are comfortable. not seeing like MCU characters. Because I always felt like maybe before the reason why a lot of them didn't do well is because the general public associates these characters with the actors. Like for Marvel, like for that Marvel Adventures game, I felt like imagine if you had the actual actors from Marvel in there,
Well,
right? I believe that game would have done probably better. You know, it probably.
I
Mhm.
I think they did it very smart. They came into it like similar to Overwatch, where there was a story behind it. Why do these characters look like this? So not only can you make a bunch of comics that relate to the game
Mhm.
now, because you have all these unique designs and this unique Doom versus Doom storyline or whatever, you have that, and then you combine that with, oh, we can have skins. What are the
Mhm.
first set of skins that you can buy? All the ones
Oh,
from the
MCU
fucking
skins.
movies.
Yes, yes, yes.
So if you want your character to look like that, you
Mhm.
can. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
buy it.
And some people bought them, and like Ray, he's playing. He bought the Thor one, the whole
Mhm.
set, and it comes with unique sounds when you use your weapons and all that stuff. So it's not just and so that to me is brilliant. You
Mhm.
know, because now you're gonna have all these other characters anyway, so you're gonna make your own unique versions to this rivals game.
Mhm.
With whatever universe it takes place in, and at the same time, you can sell skins. You want people want to look, you just buy skins.
Also too, what I like about Marvel Rivals, if I read this correctly, there's no more like fear of missing out stuff. Like and whatever's released,
Once
you
you
can
buy a
always
battle
buy it,
pass, you have.
no matter what. So you can always rebuy things, and I think for a lot of people that's great. Because I think Overwatch had that thing where you have time exclusives. If you don't buy it, they lock it away, kind of like Fortnite, pretty much.
I mean, I saw that I've seen some skins
Hmm.
in Marvel Rivals say like they're only available in the shop until a certain day. But
Hmm.
I also think like either they'll, yeah, Overwatch, especially like the collaboration skins,
Hmm.
like they occasionally might come back, but a lot of times once they're gone, like I have Bastion's a tank character in Overwatch that looks like a
Hmm.
cute robot tank. In Overwatch 1, there was a week where you could do an event to get Lego Bastion, and he's just made out of Legos, and he has a whole he breaks into bricks, and it looks really cool.
Hmm.
But you can't get that anymore. Like there's now it's cool when if you have it and no one else does, it makes you feel a certain way. But at the same time, yeah, there's that whole thing where you feel like you're missing out and you feel like you have to play the game because you have to grind this, you have to
Hmm.
play the season pass. I know in this game, if you buy a season pass, it stays with you until you complete it. I know there's some little weird thing about the money from it goes, I don't know, it gets transferred in some weird way, but you can always unlock it after you purchased it. I don't know if you can purchase old season passes
Hmm.
after the season's over. I don't know if you can
Okay.
do that. So there's gonna be a little bit of FOMO, but it might not be as egregious as like Overwatch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, Marvel, I hope they continue doing their thing. I already know that they're planning to add more characters, like
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic Four,
Yep.
and some other characters. But I think, it's a great game. And again, for the price of 0.99,
Yeah.
let's just
You
say
can just go
zero,
try it.
free 99. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fun to try. And and it's great. I mean, I did play a little bit of Overwatch after I played
Yeah.
Marvel Rivals because I'm like, now that Overwatch is free to play, let me give it a try too. And I actually did like it. I
You
was
get
playing
it.
as
It's
Diva.
fun. It's
It's
still a fun
fun.
game to play. But
It's
what made people really love Overwatch was not the game. It was the world. It was the
the world, the
story
characters, the story.
along with the game.
Yeah.
Kind of, and people already have that with those Marvel characters anyway. So it's like
Hmm.
you don't need it as much. But these Overwatch characters are new characters that needed
And
this
also
shit.
too, like people have it through different mediums because you could enjoy Spider-Man, from reading comics growing up. Maybe you could enjoy Spider-Man from the cartoon.
Right.
Maybe you enjoy it from the movies.
And it don't have to
So
be the same
like there's so many
Spider-Man, but
avenues that everyone's gonna bring their own nostalgia to
yeah.
those characters because they've been, in media for so long.
Yeah.
So you already have, a base right there.
And it's a great place to introduce some characters you might have not known about
That's
either.
true. It's funny, just to real quick, it kind of reminded me of didn't remind me, but what comes to mind right now is Gotham City Imposters. I
Hmm.
don't know if you remember that game.
I heard of it, yeah.
I think it might be delisted at this point. But
Probably.
hmm?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. But I think it was trying to be like a, first person shooter with Batman characters. I don't know if I don't think it was a hero style shooter. I think it was just like a, deathmatch style, I believe.
Hmm.
Yeah, and they had the Batman license, but because of the way they look at the characters, like Batman can't shoot or anything like that. They did
It
it
was too strict there.
a little too restrictive, and I think this game takes it in a great direction where characters feel like themselves. They can still use their powers. They're not using allegories for guns, even though you could say that. But if
No,
when I play as Magneto, he uses his hand to use his power with
uh,
whatever metal he has. So
Punisher straight up talks about killing, well, punishing criminals, but he
mhm.
has a gun and a
Well, he
shotgun.
has a gun. Like, the character, yes, yeah, that's true. Characters have a gun, but because you have Punisher, you have
They don't hide it. Yeah, they let the characters
yeah.
be the
But I
character.
think DC has a strict policy against guns because even their toys, a lot of even characters who do use guns as weapons, in a lot of their toys, they don't even include the
I
guns.
mean, just play Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe if you want to see what how that works.
Yeah, but
Because
I'll be interested to see because I know right now I think they're focused on probably the multiverses games, but even multiverses is not doing too good after the beta because I
no,
heard it was really big during the beta
well,
stage.
the beta was fun, and then they slowed the game down, and they also they had a good beta, and
Mm-hmm.
they kind of fucked it up after the game. They had to slow it down and stuff because it wasn't the online wasn't good because it
Mm-hmm.
was
Quick.
yeah, it was, and that was fun. So they slowed it down to get the online working, and then people were like, "Wait, it's not fun anymore."
Mm-hmm.
So, and yeah, so it was that's a kind of unfortunate thing.
Yeah.
But
I heard nothing but good things about it. It's sad that no one talks about it anymore.
all right,
And yeah, but Marvel doing a great job. I'm excited to see what else they have in store.
well, season one starts like this week or next week or whatever.
mm,
So
so
Fantastic
when I,
Four.
when I get back, I can play some more.
All right, I hope the characters are free.
I think that'll be free. I think characters will always be free. I think that's the selling point.
They weren't free in Overwatch in this too when they started.
What are you
But
talking about? Part two. You mean Overwatch or Marvel
Overwatch 2,
Rivals?
you had to when the first game they released all the characters for free. Then
Mm,
Overwatch 2, you had to either buy the season pass and unlock the character that way or something. I don't know. Then after people were like, "This is stupid," then they were like, okay, all characters are free. It's just So I don't know, man. We'll
mm.
see. And then, I mean, yeah, I think they'll do if they're smart, they'll make sure every character is free.
Yeah, and I think for Overwatch too, since Overwatch was one of the first ones to really take off in terms of popularity, there's probably a lot of like learning curves. Like, should we release the characters, free? Should we make them paid? So I think they took a lot of bumps, in the process to
There
find
was a
out what's
lot
the
of
right
bumps, but you could tell that a lot of it was very money and
corporate
money.
corporate driven.
Yeah, that I know some of the team that loved the game had no control over, and that's
Yeah,
why like the head of Overwatch, he left in between transitions because he
yeah.
saw where it was going,
Mhm.
and he said that we don't have the same vision. And after he left, it was just they just started. It went straight
It
downhill
went
from there.
downhill. Wow. So in that case, who knows?
Yep.
Maybe. So
Jeff Kaplan, that was his name.
so so final verdict. Overwatch is in its last legs.
I think Overwatch, unless they have a Final Fantasy 14 Realm Reborn style rebirth, I
Hmm.
think I think Overwatch could be, I think it has enough to stay alive,
Hmm.
but its best days are probably behind them. Like it's sure.
So can we?
Marvel Rivals will probably be here to stay for a while.
Oh, what's another thing about Marvel Rivals I realized? They
But
have a slight collaboration with Fortnite. Like I think if you
not shocked.
played
What
the
doesn't
game,
have a
yeah,
collaboration
you
with
can have
Fortnite?
yeah. So I think that kind of works in his favor too because you have one of the biggest games ever. Have collaborations. I think it's just skins or like 'cause I think you get exclusive skin or something or rather when you connect your Epic account with
Hmm.
Marvel Rivals and
Yeah,
Fortnite,
sure.
whatever. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Also, well, real quick, I think the game being third person does it more favors too. I think people
Oh yes.
relate better to third person games than they do first person. Also,
Mhm.
including with skins. Like when you buy a skin in third person, you can see it. When
Mhm.
you get an Overwatch skin, you can see your gun
Yeah.
and maybe do like if you do a pose and it goes out of but other than that you don't
You only
get
seeing
as
it when
much
you win.
value. Yeah, you don't get as much value in really good skins that Overwatch.
Mhm.
What's one thing too, Overwatch made some of the best skins. Like their skins were so good on their characters. Rivals is doing pretty good with their skins. I mean, but they're just gonna pull from their comics and stuff. Like they have, it's so easy for them to get skins They either
Hmm.
pull from a movie or they're gonna pull from the comics.
I mean,
Like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah. Honestly, like I said, because they've been in media for so long, they
mhm.
have countless iterations. Spider-Man alone, you probably have 500 costumes for
Yeah,
him.
and a Miles Morales version that might be a character down the line. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? Like, you got everything. All
yeah,
right,
they lucked out, and that's finally good to see some Marvel IP. Because before I think also too, and we're gonna try to end it soon. We had the WB Warner Brothers killing it in the video game space with their IP. Between Batman for a long time, and then now with a couple of flops like Gotham
Suicide
Knights,
Squad. And,
Suicide Squad, and everything else. It looks like Marvel found its niche, and it'll
I
be interesting to
mean,
see.
Marvel's been doing all right for a while though. They had Spider-Man.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the Spider-Man games. I mean, what other Spider-Man? I mean, oh yeah, you're right. You're
I
right.
mean, that's all huge.
Yeah, that's
Those
true.
games are huge.
Hmm.
I mean, and I don't know. I mean, not that they had a lot of other successes, but that's been such a dynamite bombshell,
Hmm.
and now they're gonna have there's a upcoming Wolverine game and a new
Hmm.
Iron Man game that's probably gonna be that's made by some good companies, the Spider-Man Insomniac's making one of them or something. So
Hmm.
there are gonna be some good games out there for them. But this is one of their I mean, this is gonna print money for them for a while. So we're probably gonna get some good stuff out of Marvel for a bit in
Oh
terms
yeah, I
of
can't
games.
wait. It's gonna be really good to see what happens.
Yeah.
All right, so
All right, sir.
let's end it. All
Let's
right,
end it.
guys.
We'll get better. Okay.
Hey
We'll do better
guys.
next time because Steve is an important man. So
All
yeah.
right, guys. So thank you so much for watching the 8-bit generation 8BG cast. If you like this, please like, subscribe, share, comments,
Get some sleep.
interact. Hmm?
Get some sleep.
Yeah, I need to
You
get
look
some sleep.
tired.
Yeah, so real quick. So this morning I woke up because I had to do like a presentation and I didn't get a chance to eat breakfast. I only had coffee.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm tired. And I'm
You look
cold too. I went
you
outside
look
today for a walk
it's
because I'm in
freezing.
Maine right now. And it is like the cold in Maine is like ungodly.
Yeah, you're by the water and stuff. Yeah. I
Yeah,
don't
no, yeah,
envy you.
definitely by the water. And yeah, because I was taking a walk. 'Cause I like taking walks, and I was like, okay, I know it's cold, but I got my jacket on, and man,
Yeah.
my legs got so cold. To
Hmm.
this moment, I'm still feeling cold in my legs because that's how cold it is.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is not fun.
Well,
But
warm up, man. Feel better.
I'm gonna warm up, get some sleep. I gotta wake up early tomorrow.
We
Sorry,
out of
guys.
here.
But we have our first podcast for 2025.
We did it,
So look forward to us. I'm still have to work on that video for from Retro the Long Island Retro Video Game Show.
bro. By
Um,
the time you finish that, we'll be at the next one. So,
I mean, my goal is to have it out around that time when tickets go on sale, so that way,
oh God,
Yeah.
God help us.
All
All right, brother.
right, man. Take care.
Bye
All right.
bye.
Bye.